Greetings and welcome to a special edition unboxing video on Gadgets 360. This week, Square Enix released Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. And while you can find a lot of videos on the web explaining the differences between the Zodiac Age remaster and the game when it originally hit in 2006, we decided to do something a little more different.
A fine bloody banquet.
Rather than show you a graphics comparison, we thought it would be cool for collectors and fans alike to show how Square Enix launched the game back in 2006 and what's different right now. So to start with, here's Final Fantasy XII in its original shape and form for the PS2 when it hit back in 2006. Fun fact, the game never had an official release in India, and there was a street date break in the US a good week before release. Which is how we managed to get the game back in the day. As you can see, they go with a standard cover art rather than a minimal art frame, which is what Europe and Japan get. And when you open it up, there's a slot for your memory card, which is necessary in the PS2 days. You have the disc, and obviously a color manual, which is a rarity in this day and age. It's full color too, yes, that was a thing back when publishers cared about physical product. And what's even really more amusing is it even has a Square Enix contact form where you could get in touch with the company and let them know what you thought of the game and what your gaming preferences were. So this was the very first edition of the game that hit the shelves for those of us who couldn't speak Japanese. And that isn't all. This was followed up by Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings for the DS. And this is the European version, as you can see, with the minimal cover art, back of the box as well. This was a strategy RPG that was essentially a spin-off to Final Fantasy XII and took place in the same universe with a similar set of characters like Van and Pinello. And when you open it up, you get some really cool things. Well, Square Enix wants you to define the future of gaming with them, along with a contact form and an address for the European office. And another color manual back in the day when, yes, publishers cared about these things. Full color, as you can see. So that's the thing. And obviously, you have the usual legal documentation that comes with it. And yes, much like the Switch and the 3DS, the DS also had cartridges. So yeah, you get the entire game on cartridge. And yeah, as you can see, the back of the box and all relevant information. And then there was the Steelbook edition for Zodiac Age itself, which released this week. As you can see, it has artwork from Amano, which is really, really cool. And when you open it up, well, things get a little weird here. You have a code for DLC, which is basically background music for the game. So it's not actually adding any new content to your gameplay, but just gives you some cool music. And the usual, well, legal documentation and asking you to sign up for Square Enix's online service. Inside, there is artwork as well, which looks really, really nice. It's intricately done. There's a game disc. And at the back is where it seems that Square Enix may have cheaped out a bit because it's plain. It would be nice to see the artwork roll through. You can see more details on this specific edition on our Instagram channel, where we've covered it at length. And but you're not here for these. You're here for this. This is the Zodiac Age Collector's Edition. It's exclusive to the Square Enix store, and that it should run you around $200. If you're wondering how to import this, we'll have a link in the description on how to import this edition of the game from the Square Enix store in Europe and US. Now, let's unbox this and figure out what you get with it. So you get a box which has some really cool artwork from the game, and it's spread around. When you open it up, you get more artwork, which is really cool. And inside, you have art cards. These are a set of 6 for all of the main characters in the game. Let's open it up and see what kind of material is being used. So these are like made on hard paper, and they actually feel like postcards, which is really cool. And yeah, they're for the main characters and for the world of Ivalice, which is pretty interesting to see. And then There's a steelbook with the game inside, and this has limited edition artwork as well. It's quite different from what we've seen in the in the base edition of the game. And yeah, at the back it's the same. Well, yeah, just the logo, which is really sad. But yeah, that's there. And then the main draw is a set of figures of the judges. The judges are the main villains, or seem to be the main villains in Final Fantasy XII, and it's a bust set of all of them, which is made by Square Enix Play Arts. These are the Judge Magisters, and you have Gavarinth, Drace, Geese, and the whole bunch of them. So let's open up and see how it actually is. So it's got there's a good level of detail to them, even right down to the cloak, which has nicely got its own little folds and stuff, which looks really cool. The armor is also nicely detailed, as are the helmets, and it's really, really cool to look at. And it's probably something you'd want to keep on your shelf if you're a fan of the franchise, and if you're a fan of this game in particular. In our review, we found it to be one of the better entries in the series in a long time, even though it's just a remaster. And yeah, it's one of the cool things you get with the game, along with, well, limited edition steelbook and art cards. So yeah, this is what you get when you pick up the Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Remaster Special Edition. Like I said, it's on the Square Enix store only. It's not available outside of the Square Enix store. We'll have a link in the description on a guide on how you can import this if you're interested. And you can even check out all our Final Fantasy XII coverage on the site. We've got the review, we've got the tips and tricks piece, we've got a video up as well. And for all things gaming, you're already in the right place. Stay tuned to gadgets360.com for more.